I'm Leigh.
And I'm Nick.
And we are the Lodge Guys.
We're currently driving through Italy in our self-built campervan Taylor, which we converted last year from an old decorated van with absolutely no experience.
Click the subscribe button below to join us on this epic adventure. Morning, welcome to a new vlog. We are going to Rome today. Woohoo! Bit of toast before we head off to Rome. How long is it going to take us to get to Rome?
Well, yesterday, we didn't vlog this, but yesterday we came out of the mountains and it was like 40 degrees and the brakes went really spongy on the van. I've seen this before when we used to have a Citroen. Years ago we came out of the Lake District and we came down the whole mountain on the brakes. We did it yesterday. Got out of the van. They were almost glowing, there was smoke coming out and they were really spongy, so we had to pull over and wait 10 minutes. So I'm really not keen on taking it over any more big mountains and down the other side, unless we run it on gears. But from here to get to Rome, we have to go up a national park and down the other side. I don't want to do it. So there's a town on the coast, a little bit to the west of us, called Albini, or Albeno or something like that. So we're going to drive there, which is pretty flat, and then go down the coast road to Rome. So it'll add an extra 30 minutes.
That's fine. I just want to show you next door's garden that they've got. They arrived yesterday in that little caravan type thing. Pod. Yeah, it's like a little pod. There's 4 of them in there. It's tiny. And then they got that garden out as well, so they're carrying that around with them as well.
Herbs?
Yeah, probably. Herbs and stuff. Not a bad site at all. It's got very bumpy roads, as you can see.
Well, it's
not very. Well, yeah, they're just copying the rest of the country. But
I've got to get over this now.
We could have had some sort of sites like this had we wanted, but we didn't want to be surrounded by trees and things. So we've just got to stop off here.
Hey.
Get rid of reservation, pay, and on our way to our next site in Rome. Look at all these trees. These
French.
like spiny sort of trees.
Big pit in road here.
Yeah, look at this. The roads, as we said. Bloody hell, be careful here.
I was going to take some at bottom of van off.
So bad, the roads in Italy.
It's like not just that, it's every single road on every motorway.
But they do have pretty trees. Right, we just called off at a co-op to get a few bits and bats.
What did you call it?
Coop.
Spent 10 minutes trying to get Google to understand coop. And I'm like, what the hell? How do you spell it? And it's like C-O-O-P.
Well, presumably they didn't have co-op in Italy, so I thought it was like coop. So anyway, we've called here to get a few supplies. Dolce Gusto pods everywhere, loads of different ones. Should have brought my machine. Look at all that we could have had here in the
yeah, but I want
van.
With the machine.
Yeah, but there's all sorts of Rome, Roma, Milano.
Right, we came to a supermarket, got 69 euros worth of stuff, intending on looking for a bum bag.
A bum bag, because going to Rome, so you've got to keep real tight of your bags, but then having a little bum bag down the back.
So we bought a jam tart instead. Is it peach or jam? You see a lot of them in Italy, I don't know what they are.
It's a little bit like those, you know those strawberries and lemon curd tarts you used to get at home in a pack.
Like a jam tart. And we got 2 lattes as well. So to avoid the mountainous roads and the brakes doing what they did the other day, so not having to brake on downhills, we came an extra 30 minutes and went the long way. So we're in a place called, is it Albania? Albania. So we're literally on the sea. It's like we're in this little, where this supermarket is, it's on like a jetty at the end, so both sides is ocean. From here it's just motorway straight down to Rome, about 2.5 hours from here. So we're just going to finish this, get the van packed up and then set off.
Right, that's the van stocked up. Nick's just sucking our nectar in. We are 1 hour 58 minutes from our park up close to Rome. How far from Rome is it? The city centre?
160. Oh, the park up. 7 kilometres. So it's on the edge of the scooter's limit.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of metros and stuff in there, so we might end up getting a metro.
So the plan is we're going to stay there for 3 nights. We've got the Colosseum booked for tomorrow. I would advise you to book in advance. We didn't know. It was our some of our members on Discord that said, "Oh, have you booked your tickets?" And we were like, "Eh?" So we booked it this morning, very hard in the mountains when you've got no mobile signal. We haven't booked the Vatican, but we are going to be doing 2 full days in Rome. We think it's so big that we need 2 full days to do it. And then after that, we're going to start heading north again. Oh no, we're not. We're going to Naples. I keep forgetting that.
We're almost here. We've got to cross over this tram line to get to where we're going, and hopefully they've got spaces for us. If not, we've got to start looking for a plan B. Right.
We've got power problems. So when we were last hooked up on the Levanto site, every time we used anything, the boiler, anything at all, it was tripping the power supply. So I changed the inverter to limit the amount of power that it could draw from the mains power. This site is limited to 3 amps, which is absolutely nuts, given the fact that the inverter is a 32 amp inverter. So I limited it previously to 6 amps. I've now got to go back in and limit it to 2.8, which means that kettle and hot water all will have to be charged really slowly. But it's a good job that I bought this,
Yeah.
which allows me to make those changes. Otherwise, it would have just been tripping and would have been like, what the hell?
So we've got on our plot, which they all look like that. So that's really tons of free spaces here as well. We thought it'd been rammed in Rome in July. It's currently 36 degrees in Taylor at the moment. We have the fan and we have the doors open. There's a lovely breeze, thankfully, blowing through.
Right, there we go. So I've changed the input level to 2.9 and it's a 3 amp breaker, so our power consumption is always going to be less than the breaker's capable of. So technically, it shouldn't trip anymore, even if Leigh boils kettle.
Ooh, good, because even though it's 36 degrees, a real fancy cup of tea.
On your own, lad.
Just checking out the amenities on the site. Laundry, shower rooms. Ooh! Places to wash up. It was this that caught my eye.
What, the vending machine?
Oh, I thought it were ice creams, but it's not. I would have had an ice cream. It's a bit warm at the moment. Get some coffee and stuff like that, and lots of nice photos of Rome dotted about the place. Yeah, there's no toilet seats, is there?
You've got to sit on the pot. So this place is very similar to the last one that we were in. It's just a car park with some facilities, just for motorhomes, although there is a caravan there. But and it's cheap as well, €25 per night, so for a big city like Rome, it's mega cheap. You get your electric included as well.
Yeah. Good morning and welcome to the next day in Rome. We're up bright and early to try and get into Rome before the blazing sun hits today. Nick's just getting ready up there. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Today is supposed to be 39 in Rome, which means it'll probably feel about 43 to 45. I've got a lightweight t-shirt on. Today we're doing the Colosseum. There's a plane going overhead. So it's going to be a hot one, but look at that. I think it says Ryanair. So probably come from the UK somewhere. They'll get a shock when they get off in this heat. Although to be fair, it's not too bad at the minute. I mean, it is warm, very warm, but we're all sorted. Covered in Factor 50, got us neck fans ready, and we've got Madge and Matteo out the scooters. Hopefully this is going to be an easy thing to do. Scooter in Rome city centre. It's about a 30-minute scooter drive from here, and then we've got the whole day to explore Rome. We've got Colosseum tickets at 12:30, so looking forward to it. We've had no breakfast, so we'll probably get a coffee in Rome and enjoy seeing this beautiful city.
Not the nicest of areas, but there are people here, so safety in numbers. And I thought Paris was bad.
This is nuts. Wow, that was stressful getting in on scooters.
You're not kidding.
That took about 50 minutes or so.
An hour. I don't even know what battery we've got left. But that was horrendous. The drivers are as mad as the roads are.
Yeah, so we've parked Madge and Matteo here, straight in front of the Colosseum. So we are going in that in about 3 hours time. So we're going to go for some coffee or something first.
Breakfast.
And I don't know what this is straight in front of us where we've parked Madge and Matteo, but it looks very old and significant, but I don't know what it is. So there we go, the Colosseum.
Look at the crack in there. So apparently it's been damaged over the years with earthquakes, many earthquakes. But look at how that section there it's dropped down a couple of feet, and all the stones, that's very obviously precarious. I mean, they've bricked it up to hold it intact and put something on the back to hold it together, but
it's not as big as I expected it to be.
The one at Verona looks the same, doesn't it?
But when we get inside, it might look more impressive.
I wonder what all those holes are in the wall.
Right, we've got ourselves sat just across from the Colosseum at Cafe Martini, and they have all sorts of stuff for breakfast, like English breakfasts with sausages and egg, Italian breakfast, Americano, American coffee, omelette, scrambled egg and bacon, sandwiches and toast. So we're going to get some from here. They have waffles, pancakes, they have French toast, chocolate muffins, croissants, pan of chocolates. I think we've picked a good place. Right, we've got us breakfast. I went for a healthy breakfast of toast, turkey and scrambled eggs.
How very disappointing.
Really? I like the look of it.
That frigging sandwich, you could have got that from Boots. And I've gone for an omelette with bacon. And we've had a cappuccino and a latte, and I've just ordered another one as well.
One of the best lattes I've had in Italy so far. In fact, probably the best. Right, fed and watered, and I'm a bit stuffed to be fair. That was a really big portion, a very nice breakfast.
Were you cold?
Well, I coped, yeah. I mean, that'll put me on for the rest of the day. The seats were that close together in there. We got chatting to the lovely woman at the side of us who's on a solo cruise on Tui, and it's obviously Rome day today, and she's going to the Vatican, etc. So Nick's just getting the walking directions to the Forum. It is just on the other side of the Colosseum, so we're going to go check that out.
Our scheduled slot in the Colosseum is not until 1:15. It's about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning now. So before we do that, we actually got full site tickets. We booked them yesterday. I would advise, if you're going to do it, book it way in advance, because we ended up with the 1:15 slot and we would have much rather have done it sooner. Within that ticket, we got access to the Roman Forum, which is behind us. Now, I'm going to give you a few facts about the Roman Forum. We've done no research on it, and the only thing I can remember on this area is what we did in school. But here are some of the facts. So the Roman Forum was the heart of ancient Rome. It was the bustling centre of commerce, religion and politics. It served as a marketplace and a venue for public speeches, elections, and even hosted gladiatorial combats. Over time, the Forum transformed into a religious and cultural hub, featuring grand temples and monuments. The Forum witnessed some of the most important events in Roman history, including Julius Caesar's cremation. Today, it's just an archaeological site with a fascinating glimpse into the grandeur of the Roman Empire.
These are the kind of crowd levels at 10 AM, I think it is, about, in July.
So tours?
Yeah, a lot of for tours from probably from cruise ships and things like that. So you don't have to pay to get here where we are. So you can come and see the Forum, you can see the Colosseum. You don't have to, you don't have to pay for anything really. If you don't want to actually go into things, you can still see them from this distance.
What you see there, the Forum though, is the very edge. The Forum is massive. Yeah. It, like on Google Maps, it covers the entire Colosseum area about 10 times over, and there's so much to see inside. So there's going to be a heavy use of Google Lens today, including the thing behind me, which is called the Arch of Constantine, and it was like a monument to the Emperor Constantine, who I'd never even heard of until about 30 seconds ago.
Another example of a nice Italian road. There's obviously a Roman road. This is where they get their ideas from.
They've obviously learnt very well.
Right, we're in. It's a little bit confusing, but we are now in, and this is all the area that we've got to explore. Now, she said it can take about 2 hours to explore all this, but it's extremely warm heat, so I doubt we're going to be 2 hours, and then we've got to go over to the Colosseum for our entrance there.
So there's 5 entrances, and we just went to this one, and the guy said, come down here, and we're in at this entrance on the side, the Palatine entrance.
Yep, and the Forum is that way. So it says here that these structures were probably apartments built in brick in the 2nd century AD.
So 200 AD.
Yeah, and it says here probably belonging to an apartment block with commercial properties opening onto a road in front. The building's purpose was to contain the slope of the hill. So when we came in originally to come into the Forum, we went into this queue over here, and it goes from the very beginning, even if you've got a ticket, all the way up there. And we thankfully spoke to a staff member, and he said, don't queue here. He said, go all the way around here, which is where we went, and go straight in here. And we got straight in with no queues.
It's marked as the archaeological site of the Palatine, but inside you can walk on the Forum at the front, which is what we're doing now. I'm actually blown away, because when you see like ruins, like when you see ruins at home, you just see a couple of stones on the floor and then a plaque that tells you what once here. This is almost intact, and I can't get my head around the fact that it's been here for over 2,000 years. So before like the birth of Jesus, and it's not been maintained. People just abandoned it. Leigh just tried to explain it to me, but I kept saying, well, yeah, but surely if people lived here and their roof fell in, they'd repair it.
I was reading yesterday, it wasn't just abandoned, it took centuries and centuries for the Roman Empire to fall. And
yeah, but surely when a building crumbles, you'd fix it. Yeah, but there's people still living here.
Enough people to keep on top of it all. The
How
Roman
can
Empire
the Roman
was so big, and it spanned all the way to Britain, and then people invaded, and it just kind of, you know, over a few hundred years. Go and look at it on Wikipedia. This is what I did last night. Better look of it from up here.
It's almost intact. It's unbelievable. It's like no ruins that I've ever seen before. It's literally like...
impressive, isn't it?
They had an earthquake yesterday and then they abandoned it, and everything's kind of still here. 2,000 years just stood still. And it looks so...
like somebody could move in tomorrow and just restore it quite easily.
It's got a familiar look. It looks Greek. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then just around the corner is this. Waterfalls. As if it was just as it was back in the day, in the Roman time. Could just get in that, to be fair, and cool down. How inviting does that look just to climb in?
I could just easily just splash myself. I'll share it with fish.
So one tip I would give, I mean it's a bit of an obvious tip, but it's just the way our trip worked out this year with other things we're doing. But if you can avoid July. It's going to be 39 degrees today. It's absolutely red hot. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people here anyway. It's not putting people off. But if you can, I would suggest sort of like autumn, maybe spring.
People have said that they've come in January and it's still quite mild.
Yeah. And up here, we're just getting a preview of the catwalk fashions for 2025.
I wonder if that would be how much we see if it was actually the...
This is just like a random room up here. And it's so nice because it's air-conned, it's absolutely bliss. Right, so we're just reading a little bit more about these, and it's actually was by Donatella Versace for Katy Perry, and she wore it at the Met Gala in 2018.
That's me thinking that Romans wore it a bit more. You just can't get your head around it, can you?
The history of it. We're going into the Temple of Romulus. This is the thing.
So, if you are a Star Trek fan, you'll understand that Nero, Romulus, Remus, it was all taken from Earth's history and made into like the baddies. Google Lens to hand again. So this behind me is the Temple of Antonius and Faustina. It's an ancient Roman temple in Rome, which was later converted to a Roman Catholic church. I just cannot get my head around the fact that it's so intact and yet not used. And just, it's like one of those things where we said before when we visited historical sites that if you could use that thing that Evelyn used on Masters of the Universe and look through it at what happened in history at any point and see all the people that were at one point that came here to the church and were just living their day-to-day lives. And this area here, instead of these kind of like modern day people, there would have been people in like Roman clothes and Roman guards and things like that. It's like, how could such an empire that vasted worldwide have collapsed?
Well, it's just like the British Empire then that came centuries later, that collapsed, as most empires collapse in the end. So it's saying here the Roman Forum, where this is here. Today the Roman Forum, though apparently a stretch of ruins, remains one of the most important places in the world for history and art.
So what happened when it was rediscovered in the Renaissance period, at the beginning half of the 18th century? What happened for that 1,000 years? Obviously they haven't been buried, they're still here. So how can it have just been rediscovered?
So there's a wider aspect viewing of it where we are right now.
Oh, where? So where's those three columns there? Oh, they're there behind us.
Yeah. Look at this impressive building here. Which is actually, that's a more modern building I was reading last night. It's like one of the biggest temples or whatever it is around here.
Leigh's having an Evelyn moment. Go on, say it again.
I was just saying, as Nick says, I'd love to just be able to go back.
As an observer?
Yeah, as an observer. Nobody able to see me and just walk around the streets and just see what was happening. I'd love to see all the marble. I imagine it was like white marble back in the day. I'd just love to see it like
just to see how life really was rather than what you read in books.
Apparently it was quite bad for like their waste disposal was quite bad still, and they used to just get rid of all the waste down out in the streets and stuff.
Well, when we go to Pompeii, I remember that from the last time we went to Pompeii, the drains were actually running through the centre of the street, so if you had a shite, it literally flowed into the street and then down the street, so all your neighbours could see your poop.
And diarrhea was quite frequent, I was reading. And,
I'm not surprised.
And stuff like that, and people got quite ill quite often, even
Dysentery
though it was quite an advanced society, an advanced empire. They obviously didn't know what to do with their waste.
So had it not been for a lot of earthquakes over the last sort of 2,000 years, a lot of this would still be intact. It always surprises me how the columns manage to survive, but the buildings and the walls don't. Like everywhere you look, there's columns here, there's columns here, the temple there, the columns there are all intact. Arches and columns seem to be the bit that have the most structure, the most stability, and the rest of it, the walls are just gone.
Yep, you know what impresses me? Apart from Nick flying all over the place.
This frigging Roman road.
Is how these sites like this, Leaning Tower of Pisa, Eiffel Tower, the Colosseum, they all survived the wars, the world wars, intact and like...
We get Stonehenge and Rome gets this.
Well, Stonehenge is very impressive actually.
It's older than this.
Yeah. Nick thinks this is where they would come and bathe the feet. I said it's either that or where they used to put all the poo.
Yeah, but if you looked when we were in the beginning, there was like one of these and it actually had water in it. So it was either where you washed your feet or you just come and had your lunch, packed lunch, you know, when you were in like the Roman offices and stuff, came out for your dinner.
So this is the Temple of Saturn, and it's one of the most ancient in Rome. And it existed from the late 6th century BC, but the remains of the podium belong to a reconstruction in 42 BC. Obviously very important to keep yourself hydrated, and the cafeteria in here where we just found is very good actually. 150 for a drink each, not bad, and aircon.
Right, we're in the museum of the Palatine here. We've come in really for a cool down because Leigh's almost passing out and just had to have every fan on him and shoved up his top. He said he felt dizzy. It was so hot today. We thought Florida was hot, this is steaming. But while we're in here, this is what it looked like back in the day. It's a little bit hard to see because of the glare there, but you can see the Colosseum there. Up there is where we walked. We thought we were getting in and then we actually entered round here. But as you can see, this is what it looked like, completely different to what it is today. And then on the screens you can actually see the big temple that we saw. But it's just, and then there's like a map here. So the Colosseum is over there. We walked up this ramp and then turned back and we came in at this entrance here and then walked up and then went that way. So you can see the basilica there, the temple there, the buildings at the back, and then we're kind of in this area now. Crawling down. So the Romans loved marble. The Colosseum actually used to be covered in marble, and these are all the different marble types that they had at their disposal. There's 1,000, looks like an IKEA kitchen worktop selection wall. Right, we're heading out of the forum. The heat has got to the point now where it feels like your skin's on fire. Leigh's just had a meltdown and had to go sit in the toilet for 10 minutes and splash his face with water. And we're probably going to miss our Colosseum appointment, but we'll see.
Right, it's a few hours later, and as you can see, we're no longer in Rome, we are in the van. So, I can't remember what the last update was.
Me showing the map.
You showing the map of what? Oh
of
yeah,
what,
in that room.
Rome was looked like.
Of what the forum looks like. And I was sat in the corner, and for some reason, I just couldn't cool down. But my whole body was like overheating and I couldn't regulate my temperature, and I felt sick and I thought I was going to pass out and black out, and I thought I was going to like mess my pants and all sorts of stuff all at the same time. So we missed this Colosseum slot. Well, we sat there for about 40 minutes with every fan that we had on me, and it was an air-conned room.
Which was crap because
no, but it was air-conned at least, so I'm glad I was in that room and not outside. So
it wasn't Florida air-con, let's put it that way.
Which it never is in Italy. So I started feeling a little bit better. I started walking around, but my legs were like jelly, like tingling. But I said, right, come on, we're going to have to go and try and get on into the Colosseum, because we were very rapidly get into our time for the Colosseum.
Well, we exceeded it.
Yeah, so we went down to get in the Colosseum, but I was just absolutely wiped out. My legs were like jelly, my fingers and feet were tingling. And every time I got into the sun, I just started burning up again. And I said, look, we're just going to have to go and... Well, we tried to get into a shaded area to try and queue for the Colosseum, but it was for groups and not for individuals. So we both said, right, let's just go to a local cafe and get a cool drink.
And an ice cream.
Yeah, so we ordered a gelato, and I got some fresh orange juice, freshly squeezed orange juice, which was really nice actually, just trying to get the sugar into me. But every time this road's very shite.
Every road's shite.
Every time I took a sip of the drink and I had a couple of spoonfuls of the gelato, I just started feeling really ill. And my legs started tingling again, and I started burning up, and I couldn't regulate my heat again. So I was like, we're just gonna have to get scooters and go back. And I was kind of alright when I was on the move. It was every time I stopped, my body just started overheating. It got up to 42 degrees, and
still 42 now.
Well, it's actually gone down to 39 now. It got up to 42, and the sun was so hot. So we managed to get on the scooters, and that helped actually, because the breeze of the scooters helped cool me down. We got back to the van, thank God, and it was so hot. It was 43 inside the van.
Thank God.
No, I mean thank God that we got back to the van, because I felt better then. So we both made the decision that it's just too hot. There is an intense heat wave and intense weather warnings going off in Rome at the moment, and we've said it's just not worth it. We're absolutely gutted, because it was the one thing we were really looking forward to seeing. But the heat,
we got to see from outside.
We saw all the Forum, we saw the Colosseum from the outside. But we
didn't see the fountain, didn't see the Spanish steps.
But we just said, let's pack up, because we can do that obviously when we're in a camper van. We'd not paid for all the nights we were going to stay there, so we only paid for one night, which was only €26, and we're heading to Venice.
We've abandoned Naples.
We've abandoned Naples because it's just as hot down there.
And we'd already decided to abandon Sorrento.
Yeah, because it's just as hot down there. There's intense weather warnings for all this southern part of Italy.
To be fair, I can't wait to leave Italy, because I've never known anything like the roads in this, and it's going to damage the van. It's dangerous.
The roads are really bad.
The last couple of days we didn't vlog it, when we were coming out the mountains from the springs to get down into... Oh no, it's to the springs from Montepulciano, isn't it? The brakes on the van overheated and went really spongy in the mountains, because it was so hot outside, and we were having to put coming down the mountain on the brakes. So we had to pull over and wait 10 minutes till it cooled down, and then literally go down the mountain in low gear, which you're really supposed to do anyway.
Yeah, we knew it was coming. We've been checking the weather every day. We knew the heat wave was coming. But so far we've managed all right, haven't we? Really, we had 38 degrees in Baynac.
Well, there was one time when you did exactly the same as when we were in Bordeaux.
That were in Bordeaux. I got overheated in Bordeaux as well, but it went off after about 5 minutes then. So I was fine then. I had a couple of drinks of water, as I did today, and I was fine. So I think we've done pretty good so far. I just thought...
I feel robbed.
I know, when we got into Rome this morning, I did think to myself, this is our biggest challenge because of the temperatures. And I was thinking, once we can get today and tomorrow over, because we're going to go back into Rome tomorrow, we will have done our biggest challenge heat-wise.
We were going to do the Vatican.
Yeah, and then that happened, and I'm so peed off, because Rome was, like, for me, the highlight of the trip, because we'd never been, both of us. But it is what it is, and you know, your health isn't worth trying to plough on. I mean, we both said, should we just carry on and go back in again tomorrow?
Why be uncomfortable in this ridiculous heat?
And it's just unfortunately worked out like that you know, we decided to go to Florida. So although to be fair, even if we hadn't gone to Florida a couple of weeks ago, it got up to 50 apparently in Italy and Rome, so it would have been even worse.
Keep it.
So we'll have to go back another time when it's not as hot. So
just gone up to 40 now.
Yeah,
so we're heading north.
We feel gutted that we've not been able to do that.
We may tag Austria on now, because we'd ruled Austria out.
Yeah,
we didn't have enough time, but we may now put that back onto the list.
Yeah. Well,
because we've saved a week.
We've saved a week now. We're not going any further south into Italy, so we can add a week on somewhere else. So that, yeah, we'll have to start looking places. We are heading to Venice, which is about 5.5 hours away from Rome, so it does get cooler today. In Rome it's been about 40, in Venice today it's been about 32.
We've been driving for an hour and it hasn't cooled down a single degree yet. Keeps going from 39 to 42. It's just gone back down to 39 again.
So fingers crossed we'll get, I found a camping site, so it's got 100 camper vans. You just book it when you get there, you pay when you get there and stuff, and
we won't get there till 8:30 to 9.
9:30?
Yep.
10 to 9, yeah, so fingers crossed they've got some space, because if not, Frig knows what we're doing. There is some other ones around, so we'll just have to see what we're doing. And we'll see, fingers crossed. Then it's got a boat, or it's about a 10-minute walk into Venice, or it's, you can get a scooter and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll be exploring Venice tomorrow. We have a toll. We've been driving for quite some time. Oh, you've gone way too far. Wait a minute, where do I put the ticket? Ticket goes in there, yeah. 20 euros, blimey. Nice little roundabout. No, we're not in Venice. We've decided to stay off somewhere else for tonight because it's getting a bit late. I'll let you know when we get there, unless you recognise this already. This is where we are staying for tonight, with all these other camper vans in a car park.
If we can get space.
Yeah, there's loads on left here. Or right, wherever you want.
I'll go the left.
Yeah, because he's taking two, so let's do that. Right, we decided Venice was a little bit too much of a drive for one day. It was going to be another 3 hours until we got there, and it's already like 7 o'clock at night. So we chose somewhere on the way where we had actually skipped before. We've come to Florence. Now it's still red hot here as well, and there are still excessive heat warnings here, but we're quite a lot closer to Venice here. Just got here, going to park up, obviously. I'm going to go into town and maybe just get something to eat, have a quick look around now. The sun's going to go down very shortly, thank God. And then may have a proper look around here tomorrow, and then continue our journey up to Venice, where there is thankfully no extreme heat warnings there. So we're just going to go and have a quick look around tonight and have a chill.
Right, we know nothing about Florence. We actually crossed it off as list because we were going to do Rome. We're also going to do Sorrento. We've crossed that off as list, but now we've crossed Naples off. We've called here on the way back just as a stopover overnight. We don't know whether we're going to stay like 2 days or whether we'll just head off in the morning, but we just have to come down to the river.
Place, doesn't it? Look at this. There's loads of people here. That looks beautiful.
People on a rowing boat. Look at the sun behind you.
Yeah.
In fact, look at the boats coming down the river.
Nice boat rides on the Florence River.
So we're going to cook in the van, but it's hotter here than it was in Rome.
Right, so we're just passing this place and said that looks impressive. We've got to just have a quick stop. I thought it was like a big square.
You told me there were food here.
Well, there is behind you. But it looks like maybe
Palazzo Pitta
Museum. But we've also just...
It looks like it. It says it on friggin' sign.
We've also just found a big square. You would think it was like Christmas Eve. There's that many people out, and it's
absolutely
what
rammed.
Is it? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
It's rammed with people. It's got a really good vibe. I think
it's
we're
a
going to go
popular
back there.
place. I mean, there's a lot of back streets, and every back street has got like restaurants,
and they're all rammed full of people. So
there were a couple on that back street we just passed actually that had no people in the restaurants.
Frozen cocktails, £10.
Let's go.
That sounds good. Imagine Matteo are locked up. Let's go for a cocktail.
Frozen one.
So we came in here where they had frozen cocktails. They haven't ordered yet, but we came in and they had aircon, so we're like, oh my god, we're going to eat here as well. They have nice sounding food. But
now we're sweating.
We have, because we've been in here a while, sweating cobs again now.
It feels baking hot in here. Even though it's like 10 degrees cooler than outside, it's still hot.
We're just moaning constantly about the heat of the blowing up, but we are in the middle of a extreme heat.
It took a week of our trip off because of the heat.
Even though we've not got to see what we wanted to see in Rome, and it's really heated us off, and we're not over it yet, these frozen cocktails might help.
I'm not over it.
I love the flexibility that the van gives us. Like this morning we're in Rome at the Colosseum having breakfast. This evening we're in Florence having frozen cocktails.
And tomorrow night we might be in Venice having expensive coffee.
And that's all that can be done because we've got Taylor.
Leigh's just on the phone to his sister, and the strawberry daiquiris have turned up. I heard her making them. My God, they smell. You can actually smell the strawberry, and it's like a syrup. I'm just going to try it when he gets off the phone. Ooh, freezing cold. Give it a try. You still got rid of her when they saw that turn up. The glass is so cold it's hurting my hands. Oh my God, if I could just put that all on my body. Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, it's strong. Jesus Christ.
Strong, but it's very cold. That's it, pile it on. Here's my risotto. I've had a little try. It's not as nice as the one we had in Monteponici, whatever that place was called, the Twilight place, but it is good. Look at these little bruschettas that we've got.
What I need to do, I need to put some
little balsamic on.
bit of aceto.
And what is this?
I'm not sure, to be honest. It's not what I thought.
Well, what have you ordered?
I ordered truffle tagliatelle, which I thought was going to be like
That's good.
pasta. It's more like risotto, but it's the truffle doesn't taste of truffle.
We feel like we deserve this tonight, don't we? After
I've had a shit job.
yeah. That's where we just ate, and it was very good actually.
Apart from they had no desserts.
No, well,
Nothing.
they brought the dessert menu, and she didn't tell us that they only had the
Like 9
top
items
two.
on it,
Yeah.
and tiramisu.
So this is a little look around Florence, this little part of Florence, just in case we don't see any more, because it's very hot, isn't
Tomorrow
it?
morning
tonight?
we're heading off further north.
Good morning, it is the next day. So we had that lovely meal last night, then came back. It was very, very hot in the camper van last night. Nick had to have a shower to cool down. He just couldn't get to sleep until about 3 a.m. So we are in Florence now, as we said. There is an excessive heat warning again today for this area, so we are going to head straight up to Venice. Should be about 3.5 hours from here. There's no excessive heat warning there. It's about 32 instead of 38. So fingers crossed, it'll be a much more bearable for us. So I'll just show you around here if you ever do want to come to Florence. I think it's 15 euros, I think, that I remember. We'll see when we leave. It's got very full overnight. All this was empty yesterday. Over here is your waste emptying, your water and things like that. You do have to pay extra for your water, and you have to pay, I think, €5 to get rid of your waste. But all this area is just reserved for campers, which is quite good. Fill out with petrol before we head off. It's about 2 hours 53 minutes drive, and the petrol station is attended again, so quite a lot of them in Italy, they come out and do it for you, and it's just how it is over here. It's quite handy. It's a bit like America. Oh dear, something's happened.
39-minute delay now.
39-minute delay, Google's saying at the moment, and that's the first police car gone past.
Motorway's closed.
Well, I presume so.
Well, we've been sat here for 40 minutes. The engine turned off. Motorbikes are coming past us, but nothing's moving now. Everybody's turned their engine off. There's loads of people down there who coped, that everybody's stood out. So I presume there's been an accident and they're trying to get it off the road. And
I don't hear. Just turn the engine off.
It has. Some guys walking down to find out what's going off. There's loads of people out.
Walk.
I have a feeling this is going to be a long day. We are sat just static on the motorway. There's traffic on Google Maps in both directions for about 5 miles, and we haven't moved for a good hour.
This is a fun morning on the motorway.
I'm going to get the scooter and we'll see how long it is.
Well, yeah, but we've got people. I wonder if they're going like to a flight or something, or a cruise.
Oh my God, I'm panicking.
So,
About 50 people walked up there, so if anybody is like going on a bus behind us, nobody else is going to be moving because we've got to wait for them to come back.
the one good thing is we've got a toilet, which we've both used.
Full of dog.
Bye then.
Right, I'll be back in whenever.
Nick's got one of the scooters out.
I'll put out middle here.
He's off to see what's going on. Let's see how long it is. I know it's rammed. Everybody's out.
Right, well, I got as far as I could, but then it just went on for a couple of miles and it just kept curling round. There's people out for like miles and miles, so probably won't get back if I went on the scooter.
Everybody's running back to the cars. We are moving. Nick was just in back about to make a pizza.
I said you want to make a pizza, why not? We were sat here for a while.
So
Watch us move 5 feet and stop again for
hopefully
an hour.
it's a long time. Thank God for that, because I was starting to get red hot in here. Didn't move very far, and we're all having to go left and right as much as we can for this vehicle coming down the middle. Yeah, a big Corey vehicle. It's a shame it just can't go onto the left hand side, there's nobody there. And we're on its way again. Right, here we are. Get me ticket first of all. So this is an automated one. Got a ticket and then find a space.
We need some water, really.
Venice Airport, just there,
Wow.
a plane coming into land. Blimey, there's even coaches parked up here. So there's a lot of people here, and this apparently is the closest park up to Venice without being actually like on the Venice island a bit. So just got to choose a space. Right, we have got parked up and in our space, and we've left it an hour just to see if it cooled down a little bit. It's 32 degrees today, but it feels like about 55.
Van said 36.
So apparently just on the end of the road from our campsite is the bus that will take us into Venice, and it will cost €1.50.
Some of you said you could bike it in, but I've looked and it looks like it's motorway all the way.
Yeah, it's a shame, because I do like the security of having Maggie Matteo on hand whenever we just want to go places. But
we will assess it for when we go in tomorrow.
Yeah. So we're just going to have a couple of hours in there, go and check it out, see what it looks like, etc. And then head in tomorrow, hopefully, for a full proper look around. We're just getting our bus and tram tickets, or bus or tram. I think we can get either, and they're €1.50 each from here to get into town, so that's not too bad. If it takes our money, that is.
It won't take money.
Yeah. Well, you use your Visa card there.
Right, we pulled up at what we think is the bus station, A8. And then the only thing that looks Venetian is that bridge, so we're going to head over it. We have absolutely no idea how to get back. We'll figure that out when we need to come back.
I'm guessing it's that bridge though, everybody's going up that bridge.
Yeah, everybody, and it looks Venetian as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So the last time we were here, we came on a cruise with Sazzle.
We've been twice here before, yeah. It was a long time ago.
So it all looks very similar, but this bit here reminds me of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Do you know what I mean?
No, I can't remember.
You haven't seen it, have you?
I have seen the film, but I can't
When he does the boat chase and then he drops the guy that's protecting the Grail off on the dockside right over there. It's probably in there, but it looks like it. Drops him off and then he tells him where his father is, and he said he's in Munich in a castle, which we're going to later in this trip. Yeah.
There's been so many boat chases on these canals.
Including James Bond and... So tonight we're just coming here just to bimble. Tomorrow we're going to have a proper look round and have a look at all the history on it, maybe go into some of the different places, look at the background on it and that kind of stuff. For us tonight it's just here for a drink, a cocktail, a coffee, possibly something to eat. And you know what I recognise now? I recognise those steps there. That's when we came with Sazzle, when we came on a cruise, and we walked down there onto the canal front here.
Yeah, that was back in the day when cruise ships were still allowed to come into Venice.
Yeah.
Which they're not anymore, but we did it twice, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh yes.
I'm not even the slightest bit hungry, but oh my.
You're not putting me off.
But the smell
of that sewer.
Yeah, there's a real sewer smell here, isn't there? Even though we've got no particular sort of aim for tonight, agenda, it's just such a beautiful city to get red hot in. No, just to chill and just explore, just bimble. It's beautiful.
Coffees, slice of pizza. Even though we haven't got food in the van, we may still eat it and end up eating out.
We really do need to eat that in the van, but we are in Venice. Come out of the shops, will you? What are you doing? Buying things? Love people, not labels.
Flip-flops. I bought some flip-flops.
I bought some flip-flops. I'll show you later. Sparkling water in Venice.
I'm frigging boring. Sparkling beer in Venice.
Yeah, well, try to keep hydrated today.
I'm getting hydrated. I'll just have another one. I'm just sat here. Lee's playing with his new flip-flops.
Watching the world go by.
I'm just people watching, like looking at people thinking, where are they from? Where's that woman from there?
Is she from a cruise ship? Is she from, like, did she come on a package holiday, or these guys here with a suitcase? Where are they from? Are they from a cruise?
Well, they won't have their suitcase if they want to recruit.
Well, that's true. Oh, is that a Level 8 cruise bag? Looks like it, doesn't it? Everybody's got a story to tell and you just don't know what their story is.
Nick's baking to death, by the way. I'm alright.
I'm passing out.
Look at this gondola. And I've just got a feeling this is where we actually maybe took a gondola from one year. It looked very similar, but they all look kind of similar, to be fair. But look at the buildings and the boats. And Nick's just looking that up, see if it's from.
Oh, it's not it. Oh.
Look at all. Doesn't that just look like where we got that gondola from that time?
It might be.
It just looks like it.
Maybe. Now this bit here reminds me of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where he comes out the grate in the floor. I've just checked, it's not it, so forget that. 90 friggin' euros, I can buy one myself.
Per person?
I didn't look at that, I just saw 90 euros and thought there's no chance, even for two people.
It does look quite a posh one though, look at it.
Posh?
Yeah, it's posh, that one.
Just one cornetto.
No, thank you. You just don't expect to see a Claire's, do you? In Venice. Lush, and it just smells lush as you're passing it.
I like big cream horns, never mind cannolis. In fact, they're actually cream horns, they're not cannolis. They're cannolis.
I can see what's going to happen. We're going to be eating it. Oh, that looks a nice one. Is that like custard in it?
I think it's lemon. Looks like lemon meringue.
Oh my goodness, look at these breads. €2. I wonder how much of that. Oh, you'll just get probably like a slice, but
slither. But look at that. Looks like
oh
pineapple,
wow,
doesn't it?
Pineapple, yeah. I don't think it is it?
Potato.
Nick wants to go down this random street.
I have a feeling that when you get to the end, there'll be a nice surprise.
Who? On what?
Oh yes.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but you can't actually get out unless you get a boat. That seagull's like, what's going off? Do I have to move? You don't have to go anywhere.
Give it to me. I'll film a seagull. Just one.
It's not going. Must be its home because it didn't want to go. Is it going to sit back down?
No chips.
Let me get out here. I want to have a look.
Oh my God, look at that.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I know I've said that about most places in Italy, but I just do actually love most places in Italy. Look at them going out on the gondola, €90 each. Nick's saying hello to the seagull, which is a very big seagull. No, it's not that friendly.
I bet it is. Yeah, the chip and get on it and say hello.
Boat coming along.
You just can't believe it, can you?
Right, what we're doing? Are we eating in Venice or
Yes.
back at the van? Venice.
Yes.
Come on then. Are you coming with us? We're off for pasta. Nick says he fancies this place to eat because it looks very authentic.
Feel to it.
We're creatures of habit in Italy. This is our third bruschetta in a row, but it looks like a good one.
Just gone with tradition, like something we know we like. So I've gone for a lasagna. This time it's a meat one. Leigh's gone for spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah.
We're dumping the parmesan on. I've got myself my limoncello spritzer. We're just going to stuff it and then we're going to find his way back, aren't we?
Maybe on a boat.
Well, there is a boat from near here, back to the train station, and then a bus from there.
But we'll see if we can figure it out. How's your lasagna?
It's a little sloppy. It's nice tasting, but I like a proper lasagna needs to be quite, not dry, but a nice balance. This is a bit soupy.
Why don't you give the chef a good, giving you a recipe?
I'll let him know how to do it later. So stuffed.
Nice done that. Enjoyed it. Got a limoncello when they brought the bill out.
Yeah, I said no because I've just had two.
It smells like
And they were really strong.
lemon fairy liquid.
It's not very liquid. I can imagine. I know what you mean though.
Just the smell of it.
Yeah,
Like very intense lemon.
but it's so refreshing when you put tonic water in it. Get it? No, put it in some soda water.
It's nice. Not my favourite, but
It's my favourite now.
Right, so if you do come to Italy and you do see an entry on your food bill
saying Coppertoe, 1p. It actually means the service charge for the bread, like the tip, bread for the table, the napkins, all that kind of stuff.
And stuff like that.
It's just like a way of making a little bit more money for the restaurant rather than sort of listing it on the items. But it was only €2 each, so it's fine.
A lovely afternoon and evening in Venice. Venezia. And on the next vlog, we'll show you around and we'll get lots of facts and things like that as we are planning to come in here and spend some time tomorrow. So we're heading back to the bus. Because he had 2 limoncellos. Within the €1.50 for the buses, you can actually get a water taxi.
Well, I don't know if that's included for that.
Oh, really?
It's $1.50 for the bus, but there's alternate routes are not water taxis, water buses.
Yeah.
So whether it takes you across the bay to where we're staying, but
so we're just going to head back to the bus station. It's the easiest option for us. I'll just show you what I'm looking at right now. This street just filled with restaurants,
very Venetian,
and lots of people actually.
You won't believe there's water underneath.
No.
Well, they didn't directly, but
so I'm a bit disappointed we didn't see like the main square, but I know tonight was just about getting some food, and we'll do that tomorrow.
The main square, we probably wouldn't have got there yet.
No. Around every corner is another beautiful site and another square with people eating, beautiful restaurants, and another ancient church.
Looks like an opera house.
Yeah, it's just such a beautiful city just to walk around, isn't it?
Shame it's sinking.
What a spot to have a rest. Whew, it's still
Bridlington to Venice.
It's just crazy, isn't it, out there? The normal mode of transport is boats and gondolas.
Oh, that could take us back to our campsite.
That thing there?
It could do.
For €1.50?
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad.
While I was sat here, I just looked up that on Google Lens, and it's called the Chiesa di San Simone Piccolo. And it is a religious building in the city of Venice located in Santa Croce district on the Grand Canal, to the right of Plaza Adoldo and opposite the Venice Santa Lucia train station, which is behind me.
So this is the Grand Canal then?
Yes.
I was just saying to Nick, I know we didn't see much of Rome and we're going to have to go back at some point to see it, but this is more my kind of thing. It's much more chilled, even though there's a lot of people here. It's just
like you could live here forever and still not try every restaurant.
Well,
and you could have an apartment, but nobody would never know that there's an apartment there.
Yeah.
Look down on your street and people would be like on holiday.
Look at that woman
but
there.
You'd live above.
In that hotel. She's on a balcony looking out onto the Grand Canal. Bet she paid a fortune for that hotel room.
I wonder if she's having one of those pinch moments. I wonder if she's from Bridlington.
Maybe. Back to the bus, which are beautifully air-conned.
So we used Google to verify, when we knew the stop we wanted to get off at by sort of pin marking it before we left, but we asked at the booth when she gave us the tickets, and we're on bus number 24, which does stop on the route. We showed the guy on the map where we wanted to go, and he said yeah, but if you're in Italy and you don't validate your tickets on the bus, you can get fined €350 per person. So if you do have tickets, make sure you validate them on the machines on the post as you come in.
There. Join us on the next vlog when we head back into Venice to explore the famous sights, and we hop on a boat across to Burano to check out the colourful houses. Before we leave you, we just want to have a quick chat about our Patreon and YouTube members and say hello to our new members.
If you hear me screaming, it's because Lee's got me sat on a rock in Lake Garda.
There's lots of water. It's acting like it's acid. Anyway.
Oh, I do hope it splashes you, because I'm going to love this.
Check out our Patreon or YouTube members, where you will find benefits such as Discord chat, where you can chat to us and all our Discord. Early videos and early photos, updates weekly of all our plans and what we are up to. It's just a lovely, nice community of people. And Nick's going to say hello and thank you to our new members.
So first of all, hello to Mark W, to Tracy, Max W, Adam O, Lewis F, MJ7. Is that MJ7? Oh no, it's MJ Loveheart, sorry. Chloe, Sarah C, welcome back to Ariel. Hello to Jane, Scott M, Michael L, David W. Also hello to Jennifer H, Lukey CNX, Craig H, Andrew C, Cheshire Cat, Darryl C, Taylor M, another Taylor, Olivia Q, Stuart H, Jack S, Paul E, Sherry P, Denise W and Kat M.
So welcome to our community, guys, and thank you for joining us, thank you for supporting us, it's much appreciated, and thanks for watching this video. And now Nick can get away from the water.
Yes, I will.